ऑलराइट, तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। जय हिंद फ्रेंड्स, दिस इज योर फ्रेंड एंड होस्ट नमन राज गुप्ता एंड आई cheerfully welcome you all to our YouTube channel, that is UPSC by Naman Raj Gupta. So in the previous two lectures, as you guys might be aware that we were discussing the concept of theory of revolution, where we have divided the entire theory of Marx into three parts, that is what is revolution, how revolution should take place and why it should take place, right? Where we have seen various contradictions that are immanent or that is inherent in capitalism. Because of that, there is a cause of revolution where the class in itself will be converted into class for itself, because they will realize their true material condition, right? The exploitative nature of capitalist class, and hence they will hold arms in their hand against कैपिटलिज्म, राइट? जैसे कि हमने सीखा था, जब क्लास इन इटसेल्फ, क्लास फॉर इटसेल्फ बन जाएंगे, जब उन्हें पता चलेगा कि उनकी ऑब्जेक्टिव मटेरियल कंडीशंस कितनी एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव है, तब वो अपने हाथों में आर्म्स लेके रिवोल्ट करेंगे अगेंस्ट किसके? अगेंस्ट कैपिटलिस्ट के, राइट? अगर मैं आपको इंडियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बताऊं फ्रेंड्स, जब लोगों ने रियलाइज किया, राइट, ड्यूरिंग द लेट 40s, जब लोगों ने रियलाइज किया एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव नेचर ऑफ द ब्रिटिशर्स, तब they have decided through गांधी जी, करो या मरो, राइट? करो या मरो, उन्होंने अपने अपने हाथों में आर्म्स लिए सो दैट टू रिवॉल्ट, राइट? वो फेज कब आया? जब क्लास इन इटसेल्फ, राइट, बना क्लास फॉर इटसेल्फ। दे स्टार्टेड रियलाइजिंग कि जो ब्रिटिशर्स हैं, जो कॉलोनियल पावर्स हैं, वो कितने एक्सप्लॉइटेटिव नेचर्स के हैं। ये एक एग्जाम्पल हो गया। अगर दूसरे एग्जाम्पल्स की बात करें तो दूसरे एग्जाम्पल्स में पीजेंट्स होगा, और भी कई सारे सेक्ट थे, राइट? जैसे सन्यासी रिवोल्ट, पीजेंट रिवोल्ट्स एंड एक्सेट्रा, राइट? दोज वेर स्प्रेड आउट थ्रू आउट आवर कंट्री, and once they realized the exploitative nature of the colonial master, they also took up the arms, right? The revolt, the first independent revolt of 1857, right? जब उन्होंने realize किया कि कैसे ब्रिटिशर्स उनसे फायदा लेने के लिए उन्हें एक्सप्लॉइट कर रहे हैं, they took up the arms, right? So this theory of Marx is very very relevant even to our Indian context, right? So उसी थ्योरी को आज डिस्कस करेंगे। हमने पहले थ्योरी में जो डिस्कस कर लिया थ्योरी ऑफ रिवॉल्यूशन में, कि रिवॉल्यूशन क्या है, वो कैसे होगा और क्यों होगा, बट रिवॉल्यूशन के बाद क्या होगा, राइट? दिस इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क्स। रिवॉल्यूशन के बाद क्या होगा? हम कैपिटलिज्म को तो उखाड़ फेंकेंगे, बट उसके बाद की सोसाइटी कैसी होगी, राइट? कौन होगा उसमें जो मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पावर होल्ड करेगा, राइट? सो दिस आर द सम ऑफ द क्वेश्चन विच बिकम वेरी वेरी इमिनेंट, राइट? आवर ब्रेन गेट्स क्यूरियस कि सर व्हाट आफ्टर दैट, व्हाट्स नेक्स्ट? चलो हम कैपिटलिस्ट को तो उखाड़ फेंकेंगे, बट उसके बाद क्या होगा, राइट? सो फॉर दिस मार्क्स हैज गिवन हिज कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास एंड क्लास स्ट्रगल। ये थ्योरी के एंड तक हमें उस रिवॉल्यूशन की और पोस्ट रिवॉल्यूशन सोसाइटी की बारे में पता चलेगा। क्या कम्युनिज्म सच में मार्क्स की थ्योरी से इस्टेब्लिश हो पाएगा, या फिर ये सिर्फ एक यूटोपिया बन के रह जाएगा, राइट? कौन जीतेगा द वॉर बिटवीन लिबरलिज्म एंड सोशलिज्म, राइट? वो हमें इस थ्योरी के दौरान पता चलेगा। हम ये भी देखेंगे कि आज की जो सोशलिस्ट कंट्रीज है थ्रू आउट वर्ल्ड में, या जो क्लेम करते हैं टू बी अ सोशलिस्ट कंट्री, उनकी कॉन्टेम्पररी सिचुएशन क्या है? वो सच में सोशलिस्ट नोशन कैरी कर रहे हैं, या सिर्फ वो एक दिखावटी बुनियाद पर टिके हुए हैं? हम वो सब चीज आज इस लेक्चर में डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। एंड इस टॉपिक की रेलेवेंस बहुत हद तक ज़्यादा है दोस्तों, क्योंकि यू कैन सी हियर वन प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन वाज ऑलरेडी बीन आस्क्ड फ्रॉम दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक ऑफ थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास एंड क्लास स्ट्रगल। तो मैं आप सबसे रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगा कि आप अपने साथ एक नोटबुक लेके जरूर बैठे, क्योंकि आज मैं आपको कॉन्सेप्ट भी बताऊंगा एंड डिक्टेट भी करूंगा, सो दैट यू आर एग्जाम रेडी, यू आर ऑल्सो हैविंग कॉन्सेप्ट विच यू कैन प्रोड्यूस एंड रिवाइज ड्यूरिंग योर एग्जामिनेशन, राइट? तो इसीलिए अगर आप खाली मोबाइल स्क्रीन के सामने बैठे हैं तो आई हाईली रिकमेंड यू टू टेक अ नोट एंड अ पेन, राइट? अगर नोट्स नहीं है तो आप एक पीस ऑफ पेपर भी लेके बैठे, बट मेक श्योर टू follow or to continue a file where it will be helpful for all of you to revise before the exam, right? तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे थ्योरी ऑफ क्लास एंड क्लास स्ट्रगल की, राइट? बट इस थ्योरी को हम समझने से पहले इसके पीछे की बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट समझना बहुत जरूरी है। एंड उस बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट को समझने के लिए हमें फिर से जाना पड़ेगा मार्क्स के थ्योरी ऑफ हिस्टोरिकल मटेरियलिज्म में, राइट? बिकॉज मार्क्स ने साफ साफ बताया है कि द हिस्ट्री ऑफ ऑल hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. जो भी अभी तक हिस्ट्री है जिस भी सोसाइटी की, इज द कॉन्सिक्वेंस, इज द फ्रूट ऑफ, इज द हिस्ट्री ऑफ क्लास स्ट्रगल। ये क्लास स्ट्रगल के कारण ये सोसाइटी जो बनी, इवॉल्व हुई और खत्म हो गई, राइट। हिस्ट्री इज बिकॉज ऑफ द क्लास स्ट्रगल, मीन्स डायलैक्टिक्स बिटवीन क्लासेस और कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट बिटवीन द टू क्लासेस, दैट इज हैव एंड हैव नॉट्स। The one is exploiter, other is exploited. Relation between exploiter and exploited has to be the relation of struggle, right? ये बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्लेक्स साउंड कर रही होगी, सर आप क्या बोल रहे हैं, बिल्कुल समझ नहीं आया, तो वरी नॉट। या मैं आपको बहुत एक सिंपल रूल देता हूं मार्क्स के किसी भी कॉन्सेप्ट को समझने के लिए। अगर मार्क्स का कोई भी कॉन्सेप्ट आपको समझना हो तो सिंपली आप मार्क्स की लॉ ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स जो है वो अप्लाई कर दें। क्या आप क्या रिकलेक्ट कर सकते हैं जो 3 लॉस ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स मैंने आपको बताए थे? जी हाँ दोस्तों, आप बिल्कुल सही सोच रहे हैं। द फर्स्ट वन इज बेसिकली द यूनिटी ऑफ अपोजिट्स, राइट, यूनिटी ऑफ अपोजिट्स। द सेकेंड वन इज बेसिकली नेगेशन ऑफ नेगेशन, एंड थर्ड वन इज बेसिकली द क्वांटिटी चेंजेस टू क्वालिटी, राइट, द क्वांटिटी चेंजेस टू क्वालिटी। दिस आर द 3 लॉस ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स। अब आप इसको लगा दीजिए इस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्सेप्ट में कि मार्क्स कहना क्या चाह रहे हैं, राइट। तो मार्क्स कहना चाह रहे हैं दोस्तों, अभी लेट्स से अभी ये कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी में देयर आर 2 क्लासेस, राइट। एक तो कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास है, और एक जो क्लास है वो है बेसिकली वर्किंग क्लास और वर्कर क्लास, राइट। अगर इफ आई हैव टू सी इन मार्क्सिस्ट टर्म, इट इज बेसिकली बुर्जुआसी क्लास एंड दिस इज बेसिकली प्रोलेटेरिएट क्लास। दिस इज बेसिकली हैव क्लास and this is basically have not class, right? So here first law कैसे बनेगा? फर्स्ट लॉ क्या है? यूनिटी ऑफ अपोजिट, राइट। सो इट इज बिकॉज देयर इज अ कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास, देयर विल बी वर्किंग क्लास। दिस इज अ लॉ ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स, राइट। अगर आज लाइट है तो उसका अपोजिट डार्क भी होगा, अगर आज सच है तो उसका अपोजिट लाई भी होगा, राइट। अगर आज कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास है तो उसकी अनवांटेड इशू एक वर्किंग क्लास भी होगी, राइट, क्योंकि कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास खुद से काम नहीं करेंगे। दे विल नीड टू एम्प्लॉय पीपल फॉर वर्किंग, दे नीड टू एम्प्लॉय पीपल फॉर प्रोडक्शन, राइट, इसीलिए वर्किंग क्लास भी होगी, राइट। सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट लॉ ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स, हाउ इट इज applies here, right, the unity of opposite. अब सेकेंड लॉ क्या होगा? नेगेशन ऑफ नेगेशन। व्हाट इज नेगेशन ऑफ नेगेशन? इन दोनों के बीच में जो भी नेगेटिविटी है वो एलिमिनेट हो जाएगी। जो भी नेगेटिविटी, तो यहां पे नेगेटिविटी क्या है फ्रेंड्स? यहां पे नेगेटिविटी है एक्सप्लॉयटेटिव नेचर ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म, राइट, एक्सप्लॉयटेटिव नेचर ऑफ कैपिटलिज्म। सेकेंड नेगेटिविटी क्या है? कॉन्ट्राडिक्शंस इनहेरेंट इन कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास, राइट। जैसे कि हमने बताया था, यहां पे जो प्रोडक्शन नीड के कारण होना चाहिए, जो प्रोडक्शन लोगों की जरूरत के लिए होना चाहिए, बेसिकली इट हैपेंस फॉर द मोटिव ऑफ प्रॉफिट इन कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटी, which is against nature, right? So these are some of the inherent contradictions in capitalist class, right? तो मार्क्स कहते हैं सेकेंड लॉ ऑफ डायलैक्टिक्स के थ्रू ये सारे जो नेगेटिविटी हैं वो एलिमिनेट हो जाएंगे, राइट, ये सारे नेगेटिविटी एलिमिनेट हो जाएंगे। थर्ड लॉ क्या है? द क्वांटिटी चेंजेस इनटू क्वालिटी। ये सारे जितने क्वांटिटेटिव प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जितने क्वांटिटेटिव इश्यूज हैं, ये ग्रेजुअली एक क्वालिटी में चेंज होने लग जाएंगे। ये एक ट्रांजिशनरी फेज होगा जिसको मार्क्स अपने टर्म में बोलते हैं डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ प्रोलेटेरिएट, और हम उसको आम भाषा में कभी कभी सोशलिज्म भी कह देते हैं, बट मार्क्स ने कभी सोशलिज्म टर्म कॉइन नहीं किया था। ये बहुत बड़ी मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है, हम आगे देखेंगे। अब just have an idea, we will see in this course of lecture, Marx has never coined the term socialism. He has basically given the concept of dictatorship of proletariat. To convert the quantitative into quality, there will be a phase of dictatorship of proletariat, जहां पे they will change the quantity into quality, right? Where the workers will take the control of the authority and they will become the captain at the helm, right? So this is how because of dialectical process, because of dialectics, the history is basically taking shape, right? So इसी चीज को और अच्छे से बताने के लिए मार्क्स हैज गिवन द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ स्टेजेस ऑफ हिस्ट्री, राइट। जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया एक पर्टिकुलर फेज का, दैट इज कैपिटलिस्ट फेज का, मार्क्स ने उसको बहुत ही पहले से, दैट इज प्री हिस्टोरिक स्टेज से बताया है। मार्क्स हैज गिवन द फॉलोइंग स्टेज ऑफ ह्यूमन हिस्ट्री। हिस्ट्री डिनोट्स चेंजेस इन द मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, राइट। कैसे एक सोशलिस्ट सोसाइटी में मोड ऑफ प्रोडक्शन चेंज होकर एक कैपिटलिस्ट के हाथों से आके वर्कर्स के हाथों से आ जाएगा, वैसे ही फ्रॉम प्री हिस्टोरिक एज टिल दी टूडेज, दैट इज कैपिटलिज्म, ये ऐसा ही होते आ रहा है, राइट। अगेन हिज लॉ ऑफ डायलेक्टिक्स। सो व्हाट वाज द कंडीशन इन प्री हिस्टोरिक एज? Prehistoric age, the society was a primitive communism where the property was held in common. There were no classes, right? Property, if this particular piece of property, let's say, will be held by all A, B, C, and D, they all will be having equal ownership, right? There will be no differentiation, there will be no distinction between A, B, C, D, right? Hence there will be no class. But what is happening in the capitalist society? A is owning majority of the chunk of the resources, and B, C, D, they are basically working under him, right? That is why हमें एक class differentiation, एक class difference देखने को मिल रहा है, right? Because of inequality. But प्रिमिटिव कम्युनिज्म में क्या था फ्रेंड्स? देयर वाज नो क्लास, राइट? सारे इक्वल थे, देयर वाज नो इनइक्वालिटी, हेंस देयर वाज नो स्ट्रगल, हेंस देयर वाज नो स्टेट। क्योंकि अगेन अंडरस्टैंड द आइडिया ऑफ लॉक, द प्राइम ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ स्टेट टू सेफगार्ड द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ इंडिविजुअल, राइट? लॉक ने ये बताया था अपने सोशल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट थ्योरी में। अगर यहाँ पे इनइक्वालिटी नहीं होगी, यहाँ पे कोई क्लास डिफरेंशिएशन नहीं होगा, देन वी डोंट नीड अ स्टेट, राइट? वी डोंट नीड अ स्टेट टू सेफगार्ड आवर लाइफ, प्रॉपर्टी एंड wealth, right? So why he has given this concept of primitive communism? Why Marx? This very basic question will come, sir, why Marx has given this concept of primitive communism? He has given this particular concept to show that man once lived without private property and without state also, right? See, the ideal state of Marx is basically what? The communist society, right? Where there will be no class differentiation, where there will be no class struggle, and hence no state, right? That is why he is giving, or he is showing us the example that, see the world, there was a time in prehistoric stage, that is where primitive communism was existing. It is not something new, right? We had primitive communism, we had Ram Rajya, where everyone were equal, right? So we have to make our world like this. We have to make our world a world of Rajya, Ram Rajya, right? Where there will be no classes, where there will be no struggle, where there will be no state, and hence we all will exist in harmony, right? So this is the first stage that Marx is talking about. The second stage, what it evolved to, he is talking about slave society, where there was a relation of production of masters and slave, right? In slave society there were basically master and slave. Again, there is a class, there will be class, there will be class struggle, right? Whenever there will be different classes, there will be class struggle. This is what Marx is trying to prove to us, right? Wherever there will be classes, wherever there will be two classes like capitalist, workers, masters and slaves, feuds and serfs, and etc., there will be class struggle, and we need a state, right? So from Plato and all, if we look during their times, it was a slavery society, right? Even Aristotle has supported a slavery system, right? That is why he has kind of also advocated the idea of state, right? So they are kind of justifying that whenever there is a class, whenever there is a more than one class, right, we need a state, because the struggle will be imminent, right? Wherever there is a humanity, wherever there is a class, there is a more than one classes, the war will become imminent, the war will become unavoidable. That is why we need state to safeguard the right, life, property of the individual, right? So this was the second stage that Marx is talking about. The third stage is basically the feudalism, where there was a class of feuds and serfs, right? Again, there were classes, again struggle, and so we need a state to safeguard the life, liberty and property of the individual. The fourth one is again capitalist, which is present contemporary stage. Again, two classes, that is capitalist and workers, bourgeoisie, proletariat, haves and have-nots. Again, it is prone to a struggle, and hence the next stage will be socialism, right? This is how he is showing the evolution. This is how he is showing the evolution, that revolution is justified, right? Because from time of primitive society we transferred ourselves to the slave society. From slave society we came to feudal society. From feudal society we came to capitalist society, and from capitalist society now we are going to socialist society through revolution, right? So आप अगर इसको एक इंडियन या हिंदू के टर्म्स में देखेंगे, हिंदुइज्म के टर्म्स में देखेंगे टू बी स्पेसिफिक, जैसे जैसे सोसाइटी इवॉल्व हो रहा है मार्क्स के टर्म में, हम एक प्रोग्रेसिव सोसाइटी की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, राइट? फ्रॉम प्रिमिटिव टू स्लेव टू फ्यूड्स टू कैपिटलिस्ट टू सोशलिस्ट टू एट द एंड अगेन कैपिटलिस्ट। बट अगर हम हिंदुइज्म के अकॉर्डिंग बात करें तो पहले क्या था? पहले एक राम युग था, राइट? देन आया द्वापर युग, त्रेता युग, अभी कल युग चल रहा है, राइट? तो हम जैसे जैसे युग बाय युग अपने आप को ट्रांसफर कर रहे हैं, वैसे सिचुएशन वर्स होते जा रही है, राइट? वैसे ही एक टाइम आएगा फिर से राम राज्य आएगा, राइट? वैसे जैसे जैसे हम इसके मार्क्स के भी सोसाइटी में इवॉल्व हो रहे हैं, हम एक प्रोग्रेसिव सोसाइटी, एक अच्छी, एक बेटर, एक इगैलिटेरियन सोसाइटी की तरफ मूव कर रहे हैं। दिस इज व्हाट मार्क्स इज ट्राइंग टू प्रूव through his stages of history, right? So what will be the condition is in the socialist society? This is a state which will come immediately after communist revolution, which will overthrow capitalism, right? So just after overthrowing of capitalism through a revolution, there will be a stage known as socialism. But to be specific, according to Marx, it will be dictatorship of proletariat, right? Proletariat. So two classes, again there will be two classes, that is workers and capitalist. Workers will be exploiter here. Now state will be controlled by the workers, hence Marxist scholars also prefer call this dictatorship of proletariat, right? यहाँ पे क्या होगा? यहाँ पे जो workers होंगे उनकी dictatorship establish होगी, right? क्योंकि करना जरूरी है, क्योंकि again come back to the idea of Machiavelli. Machiavelli, what did he say? He said that one can forget the death of his father, but one can never forget the loss of his patrimony, right? That is why how important a property is for the capitalist class. कैपिटलिस्ट क्लास के लिए उनकी वेल्थ, उनकी प्रॉपर्टी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, राइट? सो इवन विथ रिवॉल्यूशन देयर विल बी नो इजी snatching of the wealth and property from the capitalist class. इसीलिए मार्क्स बोल रहे हैं there will be a stage where there will be a dictatorship of proletariat, dictatorship of the workers. वो क्या करेंगे? वो पूरी स्टेट को अपने अंडर कंट्रोल में लेके आएंगे, so as to snatch away the property, snatch away the wealth from the capitalist class, right? फिर इस फेज के बाद क्या आएगा? इस फेज के बाद आएगा कम्युनिज्म, राइट? सो जो प्रोलेटेरिएट की डिक्टेटरशिप थी, दे विल टेक अवे ऑल द वेल्थ, टेक अवे ऑल द प्रॉपर्टी एंड दे विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इक्वली अमॉन्ग द पीपल. एंड व्हेन दे विल डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इट इक्वली अमॉन्ग द पीपल, व्हाट विल हैपन? देयर विल बी पीसफुल चेंज फ्रॉम सोशलिज्म टू कम्युनिज्म. दिस इज अ लास्ट स्टेज ऑफ हिस्ट्री अकॉर्डिंग टू मार्क्स. अगर हिगल के टर्म में बात करें तो इट इज वेयर द एंड ऑफ हिस्ट्री विल be there and history will be established, right? So this is how through stages of history Marx is trying to show what will be the plan, right? What will be the vision, right? So classes, now in communism what will happen? Classes are abolished, right? Because everyone are equal, right? There is a no classes, right? There will be no struggle. Hence, there will be no struggle, there will be no use of state, right? Again, which state are we talking about? We are talking about the dictatorship of proletariat, right? So here the socialism is a kind of transition phase, right? Remember this. The socialism ought to be very specific. The dictatorship of a proletariat is a kind of transition phase between capitalism and communism, right? Communism. Marx never propounded the idea of socialism, right? Basically, Marx's ideal state was communism. He wanted to establish communism, right? But he also understood the pragmatic or praxis in his term, the ground reality, that with just mere revolution capitalists are not going to wither away their accumulated property, right? That is why there has to be a phase known as dictatorship of proletariat, in general term socialism, which will take the control of capitalist authority, take the control of state through revolution, so that they can snatch away, they can take away the accumulated wealth, the accumulated property of the capitalist class, and they will distribute it among the communism, or distribute it among the people, right? And once they will distribute it among the people, what will happen? There will be no class, because everyone will be equal, right? So what is happening here? If everyone will become equal, if understand here, it is very, very beautiful concept, right? If everyone will become equal, there will be no struggle, right? There will be no struggle. If there will be no struggle, we don't need state, right? Why? Because the prime objective of state is to safeguard the life, liberty, property of the individual. Here there will be no threat because everyone will be equal. Then why we need state, right? Again bring the concept of Darwin, right? The least used organs tend to wither away. That this is what is the process of evolution, the survival of the fittest, right? The organs or the part that we do not use over a period of time will wither away. जिस भी part of the body हम use नहीं करेंगे वो ultimately wither away हो जाएगा, according to Darwin's theory of evolution, the survival of the fittest. मार्क्स वही लॉजिक लगा के यहां पे बता रहे हैं, सिंस देयर विल बी नो यूज ऑफ स्टेट, स्टेट विल आल्सो विदर अवे. State of perfect freedom and perfect equality will be established. Perfect happiness, since classes will end, history will end, and this is where the history will end, right? I'm hoping that you guys are getting the concept, right? So now let's do a quick comparison between capitalism and socialism, that is dictatorship of proletariat, right? This question can become very, very promisable, very, very imminent, that these questions can be asked, right? Can you do a comparison between capitalism and socialism according to Marx, right? 10 marker. So let's do a quick comparison between capitalism and socialism. In capitalism, there were two classes, right? The capitalist class, basically, right? There were two classes, that is bourgeoisie and proletariat, right? But in socialism also there will be two classes, right? Again, the basic idea you guys have to understand, there is nothing called as socialism. It is just a advent or invention of the countries like communist countries like Russia and all. Marx propounded the idea of dictatorship of a proletariat. It will basically be a transition. It will basically be a transition from capitalism to communism, right? So let's see a comparison, right? So in capitalism there will be two classes, that is bourgeoisie and proletariat. Here there will also be two classes, that will be the working class and proletariat class. Here also there will be two working class and bourgeoisie or capitalist class, right? Working class or capitalist class. Here the capitalist is exploiter, as we all know that, right? In capitalist society, capitalists are basically the exploiter. But here what will happen? Here the workers will become exploiter, right? Exploiter of whom? Basically the exploiter of the capitalist class. They will start exploiting the capitalist class in order to snatch away, in order to take away their accumulated wealth, right? State is instrument of capitalist class. Again, base and superstructure model. Here the state will become instrument of working class. Why? Because in the socialism or dictatorship of proletariat, the basic structure, that is economic structure, will be taken away by the working class. Now the state, that is superstructure, will also ultimately become instrument of the working class. The instrument, that is state, will work for the interest of working class, right? Capitalism is a democracy, but democracy of minority, democracy of elite class, democracy of few capitalist people. It is dictatorship of minority over majority, right? But socialism is a people's democracy, right? People's democracy or mobocracy. It is a democracy of majority and dictatorship of majority over minority, right? Dictatorship of majority, that is workers, over minority, that is capitalist class, right? The fifth difference is principle of distribution in capitalism. How will be the principle of distribution? So capitalist claims that they give reward in accordance to the work, right? The more you work, the more you will be rewarded in the capitalist society. That is how the system of distribution of reward works in the capitalist society. But in socialism, the principle will be from each according to his ability to each according to his work, right? From each according to his ability, right? Because here the work is just the ability, the work is mere ability, right? It is very, very mechanistic notion of man. The more you are able, the more you will be rewarded. But here the notion of real work will also come in, right? The individuality. Here individualism is different from individuality, right? So here socialism is against individualism, right? Individualism, right? But again, socialism or communism will always promote the idea of individuality, right? Individuality. Here the idea of individualism will come in, and here the idea of individuality will come in, right? So this is how the notion of work for the own self, right? Work here, what was happening? We were working for the what? Our necessities. We were working according to the force, right? We were working for the needs, various needs, right? We were working by coercion, right? Because of individualism. Individualism of whom? Individualism of few capitalist class to satiate their greed, to satiate their profit motive. But here our individuality will be promoted. Why? Because we will work for our own self. We will work to express our individuality. That is why the reward will also be from each according to his ability to each according to his work, right? In capitalism, workers were forced to work beyond their ability and are not paid according to the work. That is what was the reality in the capitalist society, right? And in socialism, it will be quite opposite. It will basically be according to his or her work, right? Now let's see a comparison between socialism and communism, right? Socialism, or again the dictatorship of proletariat, to the communism, which was basically the ideal state of Marx, right? So again, we have seen socialism, there will be classes, that is working classes and the bourgeoisie, capitalist class. There will be state because there will be class. Socialism is not a perfect democracy, right? Why? Because it is a dictatorship of proletariat, right? So principle of distribution from each according to his ability to each according to his work. That is what we have just discussed. Then it is a transition phase which will come immediately after revolution, right? From capitalism, see what will be the process. From capitalism, the people or the workers will revolt and there will be a phase of dictatorship of proletariat, right? Why? Because again, Machiavelli idea that the capitalist can forget the demise or death of his father, but he will not forget the loss of his property, right? So it will be very hard for the revolutionary to take away the property and wealth. That is why there will be phase of dictatorship of proletariat where few people will start acting as a dictatorship, right? So as to snatch away the wealth, the property, and distribute among the people. So this phase is basically known as dictatorship of proletariat. In general terms, it is basically socialism, right? So once this will happen, what will happen? These people will start distributing the wealth, and then there will be a communism where there will be no classes, right? There will be no classes because everyone will be equal, right? Everyone will be equal. And hence everyone will be equal. There will be no struggle. There will be no struggle. because people will exist in more harmony, more peaceful manner, right? So if they will be existing in more harmonious, more peaceful manner, there will be no state, right? Because the major job of state is to safeguard the interest, the life, the right, and the property of the individual. We are not threatful about our life in communism. We are not fearful about our property, right? Because we all are equal. There are no classes, right? That is why we do not need any state to safeguard our right, liberty, and property, right? So it will be a state of perfect democracy, right? Where the interest of each and everyone will be taken care of. And what will be the distribution of reward? So from each according to his ability, to each according to his need, right? Because we all are equal owner. We all will draw the resources based on our need, right? Let's say I need a 10 fruit per day. I will only pluck 10 apples per day. I will not need further than 10, right? So that is why the system of reward will be from each according to his ability, to each according to his need, and it itself is a end of history, right? And this will be the end of history, because again the law of dialectics come in. There will be no unity of opposition, no unity of opposition, there will be no negation of negation, and there will be no quantity into quality, right? Because there is no unity of the first law itself is getting defined here, right? There is no class, right? So if there is no class, there will be no negation of negation, there will no quantity into quality, and hence this will be a end of history. This is what Marx said. This is the state of Ram Rajya, right? So this was all about the theory of class and class struggle, right? So we will see what is the current context, right? We will see what is the current context of socialism, right? Because it is oftenly said that Marx's analysis of the problem was good. Marx's analysis of the problem was good, but his diagnosis has failed. Is it so? Is it so? What do you all think? Is Marx's idea really a failure? His diagnosis, his analysis of the problem was good, right? He told in front of the world what was the problem or contradictions that were inherent in the capitalist society. But the solution that he has given, the diagnosis that he has given, was that effective, right? To understand that, we have to understand what is the current relevance of socialism in the world, right? To understand whether his diagnosis was good or not, we have to understand what is the current relevance of socialism, right? So the major socialist claiming countries like Russia, China, Cuba, Vietnam, North Korea, and Korea, their communist revolution took place. There is no doubt, right? We have seen communist revolution in Russia, right? Lenin was the individual. In China, in Cuba, in Vietnam, in North Korea, there is no doubt that communist revolution took place. But instead of socialism or dictatorship of proletariat, what was emerged was the dictatorship of communist party, right? The best example, if you have to take, आपको ज्यादा दूर नहीं जाना पड़ेगा, just हम अपने पड़ोसी को देख लेते हैं, that is the चाइना, राइट? वहां पे कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी का कितना दबदबा है, कितना आतंक है. अगर आप आज उसके अगेंस्ट, दैट इज स्टेट के अगेंस्ट कुछ बोल देते हैं, देन इवन द बिगेस्ट ऑफ द बिजनेसमैन और कैपिटलिस्ट विल बी what? They will be abducted from the country. The recent example was the Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba Group, right? He was abducted from the state for immensity of time, right? He was taken out from the public sphere. So that is the atank of the communist party, right? तो मार्क्स ने क्या बताया था? When there will be revolution, there will be a transition phase where there will be a dictatorship of proletariat. But रियलिटी में क्या हुआ? रियलिटी में ये हुआ दोस्तों, देयर वाज अ डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी रेदर देन अ डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ प्रोलेटेरिएट. आपने ये बात तो सुना होगा, पावर करप्ट्स एंड एब्सोल्यूट पावर करप्ट्स एब्सोल्यूटली, राइट? बस यही हुआ यहाँ पे, राइट? वंस द प्रोलेटेरिएट और डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ प्रोलेटेरिएट हुआ, पीपल वेयर व्हाट? मायर्ड विद द पावर, right? They got illusioned with the power, and hence they started understanding the transitionary phase as a reality, right? And उन्होंने उस फेज से इतना लगाव लगा लिया कि they have never thought about the Marx final ideal state that was communist. उन्होंने वेल्थ स्नैच अवे तो कर लिया कैपिटलिस्ट से, बट उन्हें कभी भी रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूट करना जरूरी नहीं समझा। एंड इससे क्या हुआ? इससे हो गया डिक्टेटरशिप ऑफ कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी। वर्कर्स नेवर गॉट पावर, राइट? अगेन द रीडिस्ट्रीब्यूशन नेवर हैपेंड। Power got centralized in the hands of elites or the leaders of communist party. This is what we see in major communist or socialist countries, right? Hence, instead of people's democracy, what emerged was oligarchy of communist party, where few dictators or the few people, they centralized the entire power of the state, right? And they started dictating the people of the state. Communist party established its totalitarianism or totalitarian regime. That is what we see from Russia to China, from Cuba to Vietnam to North Korea. That is what we see. Hence the amount of freedom and equality which people enjoy in Western countries, not a fraction of that freedom and equality was available in these societies to the people, right? Because at the end, even the Marx, right? That is why Marx is also considered as a god who has failed, right? Marx एक पहले ऐसे भगवान थे who has failed, right? Why? Because his ideal state was communism. His ideal state was the state where each and everyone would have been enjoyed freedom, peace, harmony, happiness, equality. There will be no class and etc. Right? But what happened? Whatever happened was opposite to whatever Marx was idealizing, whatever Marx was thinking. That is why the people who were the flag bearer from Lenin to Mao Zedong, they all are known as Peter who have defied their masters, right? Peters, they all are known as Peters who have defied their masters. Why? Because they defied, they completely neglected the ideal, the aim, the vision which Marx has shown to the world. Hence they were called as closed societies or tyrannies, right? Ultimately what happened, friends? Ultimately USSR collapsed, right? In 1991 what we saw? The collapse of USSR. And what China is currently, China continued because China started economic reforms in late 70s, right? Again it has become a kind of semi-capitalist society, right? So one idea here is that sir, was Marx ideas completely refutable in today's time? क्या मार्क्स का एक भी आइडिया वायबल या प्रैक्टिकेबल नहीं हुआ दोस्तों? बट इसका सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिट किसे हुआ? इसका सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिट हुआ कैपिटलिस्ट सोसाइटीज को, कैपिटलिस्ट गवर्नमेंट्स को, राइट? उन्होंने समझा कि यस व्हाट एवर मार्क्स इज सेइंग हैज गॉट सम पॉइंट, हमें अपनी प्रॉफिट, हमारी ग्रीड को सैसिएट करना है, बट वी शुड ऑल्सो टेक इन टू कंसिडरेशन द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ वर्कर्स। एंड उन्होंने अकॉर्डिंगली अपने आप को इवॉल्व किया एंड दे हैव एस्टैब्लिश्ड अ नोशन ऑफ वेलफेयरिक स्टेट, वेलफेयरिक स्टेट, right? So can you say that the idea of Marx was completely unviable or subtle? No, friends. It has benefited immensely the Western world, and they have re-evolved themselves as a welfare state, right? That we cannot neglect the interest of workers for the sake of the greed of few elite classes, right? And that is why you see in major Western countries today and even the developing countries, we are mainly driven by the notion of welfarism or welfaric state. Sometimes it is also called as neoliberalism, right? So it has benefited the Western capitalist world more than what it has benefited to the societies or the countries which has taken this communist revolution, like USSR, China, Vietnam, North Korea, Cuba, and etc. With this, I am hoping आपको concept समझ में आया होगा। चलिए, with this, we are done with our lecture. I am hoping that you guys have understood the concept and also liked the video. And if you guys have any feedback to give, please feel free to post it on in the comment section. I will for sure give it a read and also come back with a valuable response, right? With this, thank you so much for watching, people. Keep watching, keep striving. All the very best.